I wanted to kind of talk about my last 2 weeks in life here on the show this week, because it's been 2 weeks, and of course, every time we have a show, something always fucking happens, right? So 2 weeks ago, I was part of the 530 people who got laid off at Riot Games. And
it's crazy to even think about. Honestly, like I kind of not forgot. Yeah. Obviously, I know you didn't forget, but it's something I don't think about.
Yeah.
But damn, that shit's crazy, bro.
It's a lot of fucking people.
It's a lot of people.
So like, I want to walk through like the days leading up to that and like what happened the day of, because it's really a crazy story that I haven't even actually said like in full, like what other than like people that are just around like you guys and stuff. Yeah. But like, you know, like people, they saw the news and stuff, but like I heard about this layoff, mass layoff. Have you heard of the app called Blind?
No, but I have heard that there's in California this thing called the WARN Act, where a company has to notify the California government before layoffs. Yeah. I just found about this last week.
Yeah.
So did they warn?
I think that's how they found out. As someone, because Blind, you're completely, it's anonymous, but it's like Reddit for people who work at companies. Spotify's up there.
Oh no, I know. No, that's how I found about the WARN Act.
Yeah, like it's Spotify's up there, Riot's up there, Electronic Arts, every Tesla, everything's up there. So like I went into the office on Thursday. It was my last time in the office. Go figure. And one of my coworkers said, "Hey, do you guys have Blind? They're saying there's going to be layoffs." And I'm just like, I'm thinking we just got a new CEO at Riot at that point. And I was just like, would they put that on the new CEO who is a person of color who, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. Like I'm thinking through it. I'm like, we're working on games. I'm working on a bunch of campaigns right now. Like there's a bunch of things that were like going on that had me thinking like, if it is happening, I would think that it was going to hit the people who have been there that are making 300, 400K. Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking because when COVID happened, they overhired, right? So I'm like, you know what? I told my coworker, who's still there, by the way, shout out to her. I was like, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. And she was fine. But I was like, you're going to be good. It's going to be people that are like way higher than us. Yeah. Monday happens, and let me tell you, I worked in the corporate side of Riot. I don't think I've actually like said this publicly before, but I worked on the corporate side. I worked in corporate comms, so like I was basically doing like crisis comms. I did social mostly. I worked with D&I teams. I worked with game teams. I was the liaison between corporate communications that happened at the company at that point. So I worked with the people who made the speeches for the CEO.
Okay.
So the guys, the PR people, all of that stuff, like those are my bosses, right? And they were acting real weird, and it took me back to Kashmir, Josh, when niggas was acting weird. And I said, I'll never forget this shit, because it just lets you know like Josh's personality. I was like, Josh, I think I'm about to get fired today. And Josh was like, nah, no way.
It's like, I was like the homegirl. Like, we good. We good. It's crazy because like at that time, I didn't see it coming. And then even at this time, you hit us up before, like, I think you had, you sent something in our group chat.
I sent the leak.
Yeah, you sent the leak.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, you straight. I think I might have said that. Like, you good. Like, I just don't.
I was like, the way that this happened was so crazy, because the whole weekend I was like, I had just been going through some HR stuff with my manager at the time. And like, he had basically got cleared of everything. And I was like, I was already like, fuck, like,
yeah, can
I go back and work with this person for a whole year? You know what I'm saying? So that was on my mind that weekend. Not the layoff but how can I proceed in this company, and can I like go? You know, I love that's one thing about it too. Y'all never heard me complain about my job ever.
Yeah, no.
Like, and I've been laid off lots of times before. I've left jobs before. Y'all all have been there for my journeys. I ain't never complained about this job. I loved my job. You know what I'm saying? So Monday comes around, everyone's acting weird. The funniest thing was my boss we had a stand up every Monday. He took it off the calendar. He said, there's so many people out this week. Oh, I'm gonna just take it off and we'll do it tomorrow. And I was just like, I looked at, you look at the Google invite, you can see who like accepted. I was like, nobody canceled this meeting today. Also, how the fuck can you cancel a meeting that your boss is in? I never cancel that fucking stand up because my boss is in it. You can't cancel that. So I was like, I immediately text my friend. I was like, yo, I think it's about to go down today. Like, everyone's being real weird. Everyone's being real flighty. Like, another meeting of mine got canceled. I hit my manager up like, yo, what are we doing? Like, do you need me to leave your update? He was like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm like, bro, the fuck out of here. Y'all are all acting real shifty right now.
Yeah.
2:30 hits. I'm chilling. Ain't nobody slacked me all day. And that's usually a rare occurrence. I'm chilling. I get the email that says, hey, your password has been changed in the Riot Games accounts. I said, well, I got laid off. Like I knew already 2:30. My passwords got taken away. Mind you, no email comes out. 2:45, Bloomberg leaks it that everyone's that Riot's laying off 11% of their workforce. I go on my a video game message board that I frequent called Reset Era. It's already on there blowing up. Already has 5 pages of people like, what the fuck's going on? Reddit already blowing up. Blinds already blowing up. They're talking about it could be 1,000, it could be 500. And I'm like, oh, okay. 255
within 15 minutes.
Within 15 minutes of
That's
all
crazy.
of all of that. And I get, like, looking back, I get why they had to shut my stuff down first. But I was like, damn, a lot of people didn't get that forewarning.
Yeah.
That I got to know that. So like again, I'm like racing. I just got married. I'm trying to move. You know what I'm saying? We want to move soon. I'm like, fuck, what is this about to be? Because I don't know the terms of what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
So 255, I've lost at that point access to everything. Not only with the password change, they said you've lost your administrative privileges on everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm laid off. Where's the email? 3:00 hits, email comes out. Most confusing email you've ever read in your life. The email says, we're making a lot of changes and some people might be affected. And today we made the tough decision or some shit like that to lay off 511 people from our workforce. And I was like, well, goddamn. So they said, you got to wait for 30 minutes. In the next 30 minutes, you're going to find out if you got a job or not.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, I'm like, I know I don't have a job.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I don't have a job, but you're still going to make me wait for this email. But they say, oh, but this is at the top. At the bottom, they say like, oh, but we're going to have a really great severance package for you. The severance package is nice. I honestly feel like they could have just led with a severance package. The severance package made it so that like I could literally, if I wanted to, just chill. Like I can chill. I'm still technically employed by the company until a couple of weeks from now for the next 2 months. And after that, I get a severance, guaranteed, clean cut. I got paid to leave. Cool.
Hey, man. Sounds sweet to me.
It's at the time it wasn't sweet though, Josh,
Sweet deal.
because when they said, oh, we get at minimum you get 3 months severance at minimum, or 6 months. It was 6 months actually. At minimum you get 6 months severance at minimum. So I'm like, what? What does that mean? But they didn't lead with that. They led with all y'all niggas getting fired. Also, we got resources for y'all niggas and we giving y'all money. I'm like, y'all should just put that at the top, and then I would have been a little bit okay with the bottom. I get that email at 3:25. I'm trying to tell niggas, all right, y'all, peace out. Slack's gone.
Oh man.
Within 5 minutes. Slack's out. No more Slack. I get into it. We still email access though. We get into emails. I get into a Google Hangout with a bunch of black people from Riot, and they're all like, it was crazy, bro, because people were coming in and saying I'm good, and then leaving. They were coming in and saying I didn't get hit. You know, it was just everyone there. Like I've never seen this before. Like every single black person that worked there, and there's only like 100 of us. Yeah. At that point, they came in, and I've never seen a community like this before. They came in and they say, "Yo, I'm good. I'm gonna stay on the line in case somebody's not good, and I'm gonna be here to talk them through it." Yeah. And I've never seen a community do anything like that, because what hit me and what still hits me to this day, I got on and I was like, I don't even know what to say, but I got on and I say, hey y'all, I got impacted. And the thing about the email was so crazy is that the email says status about your employment on the subject line. You go in there, long paragraph, and then in the middle, it's either you've been impacted or you've not been impacted. Yeah. It's the craziest shit ever. So I go in there, I say I get impacted. 3 of my coworkers at that point, they break down, they start crying. Damn. Because like a year before they laid off 53, or last year they laid off 53 people, over 25% of those people were black.
Yeah, no, it's tough, man. I think that's one thing about these layoffs that is kind of unspoken, just because layoffs are just generally bad. Yeah. But the amount of people of color who are always affected by these layoffs, always. Like it's never not the majority of people of color. Right. And it's like an interesting kind of like just not talked about tidbit, because layoffs in general are just terrible. Right. But yeah, that's something that needs to be discussed a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to like downplay the fact that it's like it could be traumatic to them, you know what I'm saying? But like it hit me at that point that it was traumatic to them. You know what I mean? And I to this day I still talk to them every day.
Yeah, no, it's real. I mean, it's real life. It's like you really forge real friendships with people you work with. Yeah. And you know, to have something like that happen so close in proximity. Yeah. It keeps you on alert. It makes you feel away, and it's
I just saw all these people in Texas in November, and we was all like cool. We was gonna meet up, all this stuff, And now all the people are gone. You know what I mean? And I stood up for a lot of Black people there, like in terms of just campaigns that we did for them for Black History Month. A lot of things. I don't know what that's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Like, but it was something that I really enjoy. It was giving people a voice, and that's not just the Black people there. It was the Asian American people there. It was the Filipino people there. It was the Latino people there. Like everybody there, I made a relationship with, and they all hit me up. You know what I mean? They were like, "Yo, we don't know what the fuck we're gonna do without you." You know what I'm saying? And that meant a lot to me. But I had to have my exit interview later that night. And I'm just kind of like, that scene of Homelander where he's just like in the movie theater and like everything is just static around him.
And there's a silence.
Yeah, I was just like, they're just telling me like, oh, we're gonna give you this and we're gonna send you this package too. And my boss was on the call because like
they gotta have,
you know what I'm saying? They gotta have somebody there, but like they were taking people from his team, so he was like, he got emotional and he was a little upset about it, and I was just like, I do at least respect it. Like he sat there and was just like, was just like, yo, this isn't
human about it.
Yeah, he was human about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just HR on that line with me. It was him. And they like the HR lady was like, do you want to get off the call? He was like, no, I'm gonna stay on the call the whole time. And he just sat and said anything I need from him, he'll help. You know what I'm saying? So, it's been a very interesting 2 weeks for me and an interesting start to the year. You know what I mean? Just has been crazy.
Yeah, man. I think, like I told you over text, rejection is protection. That's something you always got to keep in mind. Yeah. I think situations like that aren't for you. Mm-hmm. And, to be able to step away with, a nice severance package and, a clean slate and a clean jacket, that's a beautiful thing. And I think, it's just, what comes later is going to be greater for sure. It's funny. I'm thinking about the exit interview because I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, with my manager on, I'd be like, nigga, why the fuck is this happening? Yeah. Like, I would have had questions. Like, and and they probably don't even have answers to the questions, but I definitely would have poked and prodded just because I'm curious. Like, what's the rhyme or reason around some of these layoffs? Sometimes, like,
what got me was that like y'all made a big bet, and when the bet wasn't working, you had to cash out, but y'all still got big bets to make. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. Is like. I understand it from that aspect, but it was the way it happened. You know what I mean? That I felt was very like callous at that point. Like the money makes it go down easy for sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. But
I think not to cut you off, but I think about, to your point, the business aspect of it. Yeah, they made a big bet. They got to kind of reap the consequence of that bet at this point. So I get that. It's just interesting times, man. I've said it before. Quiet recession.
Yeah.
No one's talking about it, but we're going through a quiet recession right now.
2 days after this, Activision Blizzard lays off 1,900 people. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't make this up. So there's a bunch of people, luckily not doing what I'm doing, is a bunch of developers and shit like that that don't do what I do, that like, they're all fighting for jobs right now. Yeah. Like, in a very much smaller market. And to be fair, like Riot did open up internal jobs, but I was like, how many people do they expect to, like, after you've basically pulled the rug under them, to be like, okay, I'll go back?
My thing is, how y'all hiring and firing? Like,
exactly.
I never understood that.
Like, people were like, why did y'all fire us in the first place? Because there's over 60, 65 jobs on there. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to go back. Like, somebody asked me, like, would I ever go back? And I was like, yeah, I'll go back. Not right now, though. Like, I'm mad at them right now. Like, this is crazy. Like, I feel like there was so much more in the 3 years that I was there that I didn't get to do. Like, one of my biggest things is I wanted to work on a game. You know what I mean? Like, now but to your point, like, what's next for me is like, I want to go do that. I know that I can do that now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got the experience to go do that now. So, it's just been a lot. Like, I think my first like thought is like, fuck. Yeah. What it like? It's like,
that's how I felt when I found out. I'm like, fuck. That's just tough, man. I think, I've seen something similar at a lot of companies I've been at, and just being on the inside and seeing it happen, I'm like, fuck, like, this shit is just disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of your more noble things is that, you voice your interest in not having any type of interest in bad mouthing Riot, but with those types of emotions, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't blame you if that was one of the first things that were on your mind. It's like the reaction of it at the time. Yes, it may have you a little bit more free. Obviously, now you're in a space where you can really get to freely talk about the things that you love. Gaming is one of your highest loves out of everything. But the aspect and how everything went down, I wouldn't blame you for that. Was one of the things that was just like, yeah, there might be some things that I just had a bad taste in my mouth about.
I don't want to. I got to be real. Like, if not for Riot, I would have never gone to Barcelona. If not for Riot, I would have never got the seats that I got at Mania last year. My boss gave me his box, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His season tickets to go see that. You know what I mean? Because that is the quality of the people that worked there. And I say that this is different than any other job that I've been at because of the quality of the people that are there. And that's just number one is the people. Always for me at a job. When I got laid off from Kashmir, it wasn't about the job. It was I got to work with Josh, I got to work with Sade, I got to work with Kyle and a lot of other people that I fucked with at that job at the time. But with this, like this job, honestly, like it changed my life. It really did. And like a lot of people don't understand it. It's like I saw one of the people that I actually did a video. I used to do like social first videos at Riot, and I would produce them and I do the scripting and all that stuff for it. And he was like a 10-year, like he was like when I first got to Riot, there were people that were like, I will retire here.
Yeah.
There were people that were like, I will retire here. I've been here for 15 years. I will retire here. Yeah. He'd been there for over 10 years. They let him go. He worked on like League of Legends. He did the sound and everything. Fantastic dude, awesome guy. Did a lot of stuff for the Filipino community within there. And like I've been reading his tweets, and like he's been the range of emotions that he has is all over. You know, and I completely understand that because this wasn't like Riot wasn't the dream job. It became the dream job when I got there. For a lot of these people that were there, that was it. So there were people who said, I've been waiting 7 years to get here. And then I finally get here and they lay me off in 3 months. Yeah. So it's like, it's a gut punch. You know what I mean? And I feel for them. I'm praying for them. I'm hoping that they're doing okay. I check in with a lot of people too, same as they do me, but it's like the quality of the people that are there changed my life. Like when me and my wife were going through, personal things that were happening with us, they were always like, take some time off. You know what I mean? They're like, this shit is going to be here when you get back. Don't even worry about it. And that just speaks to the quality of the people that were there. So I don't have no interest in bad mouthing them. I just feel like it was crazy that they had to just kind of like cut the fun off. You know what I'm saying? So early.
You had also noted that one of your bigger surprises throughout that week is the gaming community in itself. The fact that they armied up so quickly, went on Reddit, said, hey, here is as much as we can find out about the names of the people that were laid off from Riot. Your name ended up being one of the ones that ended up being on Reddit. I think they thought you were, they think you were a music producer?
Yeah, I thought I was a music producer. I think it's because I retweeted that video thing that I did with I won't say his name, but my homie there that worked at Riot, he did sound. But I was like, I guess it's because I'm black. They think I'm a music producer. I definitely didn't. But I definitely didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody what I did at Riot. Honestly, I felt like it was like, so DEFCON 4, like if I was working on a game team, I would have been like, okay, I worked at League or TFT or something like that, but I didn't. And I also want to shout out our friend Justin too, who also worked at Riot, was also let go as well.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Justin got let go as well.
That's crazy. See, like goes back to just the black delegation and just how many of those people are let go.
We were just all together.
Literally just all together a couple weeks ago. So
talking to Modi about it. Modi was asking us about Riot. And we were just like, it's a great place to work. And now we're both gone.
Nah, that's just wild, man. It's still hard for me to even process. So I can't imagine how it is for you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that like one thing that I saw, other than just like Riot Noir, that's what they call themselves there. Like everybody that's black that worked at Riot, they made like a Google sheet and a Notion board of everybody who got laid off, what they did. And they pointed you to places where you could go talk to people and you could go like ask people like, hey, are you hiring? They said, we got these people waiting to do resume reviews, resume help, cover letter help, all of that stuff. And now all of those are things that I can just readily go access right now.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
And like even the people at Riot, they sent, or on Reddit, they sent that spreadsheet with all of our names on it out there. Wow. And I tell you, when they did that, I started getting hits. Damn. You know what I mean? Like I started getting hits and people like, hey, hit me up if you want to, see our capabilities, see what we do, stuff like that. Like, and I've been telling them like, hey, give me a couple of days. And they're like, no, fine. Take as much time as you need. I was like, because technically I'm still employed there. Yeah. Like, I could just chill right now, but it's been a really great outpouring of community that I haven't seen anywhere else. Yep. And I don't know if you'll see that anywhere else, but it shows just how diehard these fans are of what Riot does and what, video games are. Like there's a lot of shitty stuff about it, but there's also like stuff like that happened that I never had been a part of that was pretty cool.
Man, no, that's awesome. I think, yeah, to your point, the community rallying around and helping, that's a beautiful fucking thing. And, like I said before, man, it's just like everything happens for a reason. So it's onward and upward. I think, you've gained some great skill there, and you've worked in a lot of different industries and a lot of different sectors of social media, which allows you to kind of go on and do whatever you want next. So yeah, I'm excited about the next chapter.
Yeah, I don't know what it may be. I don't know what it is, but I think that like
you don't have to know right now. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's like you definitely have that time to kind of mull on it and let it sink in and you know, just start to kind of game plan. But yeah, it's just rough, man. I think we've talked a ton about layoffs.
Yes,
in the last
on the
6
show.
months, 12 months.
Yeah.
So to have that directly affect you, it's crazy, man. It shows that, you know, we're real people out here who are going through real things alongside you guys, and you know, I'm glad that we're able to share our experience and you know, kind of be an outlet for folks.